going live. Okay, so we're live, and as the new tradition now, let's play our music, right? Okay, right. Welcome, Yolanda, to the late night show with Sapolitel.
Hey,
Somebody told me that look, there's a difference between pink and red. So yeah, I'm red, you're pink.
I'm pink.
But otherwise, how's life? How are things?
Everything's good, man. I don't know if good is the word to use, but everything's okay, you know? Like, it's a different time. It's a totally
It is.
different time.
It is. It is. I was telling my grandfather that it feels like a movie. I feel like I'm one of
It
those,
does.
those movies where the world is ending.
Mm. And also, like, it's ending and you can see it. Like, every day
Sure.
is something new, and you're just like, what on earth is going on? Like, anyway.
Okay. Look, let's jump in and let's ask you the first question, right? So,
Okay.
you're a teacher. What is a typical day for you as a teacher during this pandemic?
Typical day would obviously being waking up at home, feeling as if everything's normal because you're in your own space, you jamming your music, you know,
Sure.
preparing yourself to go to work. Then you step into your car. And then sometimes you forget your mask. So you have to run back in the house and you're like, yo, my mask. Grab your mask. You check if you have your visor in your car because that's part of the PPE that they've given us. I wear you know, those fanny packs. I have one that's always strapped with me with my sanitizer, with everything, because I'm not trying to, with all my pins and anything that I'll need during the day, I try to like stash it in there so that I don't have to stress. Sharp, get in. Oh my God.
And then
It paused.
it's still pausing.
Yes. I'm so annoyed. Oh my gosh.
Yo, this pandemic is real, guys. We even have like load shedding during a shoot. Apologies to people who are watching. Just had a bit of a load shedding thing and it affects network. Yeah, man. Let's see if we can get Yolanda back. Just give us like a minute or two. She was busy explaining to us. Let me just tell her to just join in again. Yeah, she was busy explaining to us what a typical day looks like. And as she was busy talking to show you how the world is ending, I just got hit by load shedding. So, yeah, man, lucky enough, I have some backup. And the
I'm
only
back.
reason I can go
I'm trying to get
live
back.
is because my light that I'm using is connected to the laptop, right? So, yeah, it's quite interesting. We're living in dark times. We're living in dark times, but we're here. We're back. We're rolling. So you're
Okay,
busy
so what do I
explaining
do
to us.
now? I'm so sorry. Someone tried to call me. Flip.
No, it's okay. It's okay. I also got hit by load shedding. So I'm saying you're busy telling us your typical day, and
Yes.
as you enter your car, reality strikes.
Yes. Okay, let me carry on. So as you enter your car, reality strikes because as you're driving, you're not probably wearing your mask. As you drive, everyone in the streets is wearing a mask. Every car you see is wearing, like people are wearing masks. And then that's when it all starts. Like the fear in the morning is just like, oh my gosh, I'm going to work. I have to protect myself. You like I get very paranoid. Even my drive to work, like I'm praying. I'm just like, God, please be with me today, be with my family, because I leave home and I stay with my mom and my dad and my sister. So I fear coming back home and bringing this thing to my family, you know. Like
Ish.
I'm the only one who works and travels in the morning and, you know, wakes up and does everything. So for me, it's very, very scary. You get to work and obviously they're screening you guys. The kids are waiting in lines. Some kids are feeling sick, so they're taken into isolation. Some temperatures are high, and you're just like, what on earth is happening here? We might be spreading this thing just standing here and being screened. So teachers get screened. You go to your respected areas because obviously we can't share a staff room, we can't share a library, we have to, everyone has their own chair allocated to themselves in a certain room because of social distancing. There's only so many kids in a class, and it's a lot. And you find that we're more busier now than we were like in normal conditions, because right now you have to be thinking like, okay, I'm supposed to be in this class. I need to make sure that I've sanitized, the kids have sanitized. I need to make sure that during break, they're not touching each other. I need to make sure that I'm not touching anyone. I need to make sure that even when I'm like eating my lunch, I clean my hands. Before I use the toilets, I sanitize the toilet, because there's many of us and we all have to come to work. So it's just a constant panic, a constant like anxious feeling, like day in, like day out. I even dream of COVID-19. I dream of it. Like I wake up sometimes and I'm just like, hey, boy, what is going on? Like it's so traumatizing. And the worst thing is that kids sometimes will be in isolation and then they'll be sent home, or like, you know, you phone the parents, because some parents, you know, unfortunately, they need to take their kids to school. You know, some are working, some kids come to school to eat, you know. Sometimes you need to put yourself in the shoes of parents as well, because some of them find in, you know.
Yes.
And the only safe place is escoling. It's so tough. But a day it feels like a year. A day feels like a year, because then you get home, washing, you take off your clothes, you make sure that you don't get this thing in me. Like it's a lot, guys. And then you drink all these things that they say you must drink about, and worst of all, you know how teachers are, we share recipes, we share this. So every day you're hearing of something new to drink, and you're gonna go buy new ingredients to make your little concoction or whatever it is, just so you fighting off this thing that's out to get us all. I don't know if that sums up my day, but I get home and I'm pretty tired. and I'm just like, mentally, I need a break.
And you mustn't go
Like,
back tomorrow the next day.
what do you mean?
I'm just saying, after the entire day of having semi-hell, you must think about still going back to the same place tomorrow.
It's the same thing, bro.
Yeah,
It's
okay.
like, it's
Sounds
just,
hectic.
it is, Tebo, it is very
Sounds
hectic.
hectic. Look, I'm a bit privy to it because my wife is a teacher, right?
Oh,
And my
okay.
God, my God, my God. Sometimes I don't even want to ask because I'm like, it's on stress,
You know,
right?
in many cases, some of my colleagues have said that sometimes they don't even tell like their spouses or like their family, extended family, about things that we hear around the education field, because they're like, these people are going to think that I'm going to kill them. I'm going to, like, they are, you sometimes hide the realities because that's how deep it is. Like, you have to be strong because at the end of the day, it's your job and you have to go to work. But other than that, it is traumatizing. People are dying, Table, every single
Okay.
day.
Look, I'm saying as part of the tradition of the show, we usually talk about awkward things, right? And quite serious things. So we usually rock up with the awkward question just to make people feel more comfortable, more at ease.
Okay.
It's never hectic, man. I'm usually nice to my guests. I don't ask them difficult questions.
Okay.
You have the choice not to answer it.
Okay.
It's just to make us lose. The reason the late night shows because you can ask quite
I'm feeling
interesting,
nervous.
interesting questions, right? So
Insane. Okay.
no, don't be nervous. Look, it's a nice one. The last two
Okay.
ones were terrible, so I'm starting to feel bad. So now I'm asking nicer questions, right? So the
Okay.
awkward question for tonight is: what's the biggest secret you have kept from your parents?
Dude, my parents are watching this.
You don't have to answer. I'm just saying you don't have to answer. I've always said you don't have to answer.
I'm trying to think. But my mom knows quite a bit about me. It's probably something in high school, maybe something like when I was going somewhere and I actually went somewhere else and I came back safe, so I didn't have to explain anything. They think that I was somewhere else.
Okay.
Maybe something along those lines.
Okay. Look, it's a maybe. We'll take it. We'll take it. I know people are upset that I was nice to you. People are complaining on Facebook that you were so nice to Yolanda. The last
I'm a
questions
nice person.
the last questions I asked my previous guests, they almost collapsed. But yeah. So
Well, thanks for being nice to me.
going back to the topic, right? So
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot of fears, anxieties around you spreading it to loved ones, at school, your job, securing your income, not dying, the world ending. How do you manage your fears and anxieties in this period, especially as a teacher?
Well, firstly, prayer, a little bit of
Okay.
faith, bro. You know, just waking up in the morning and just telling yourself, mentally preparing yourself to be on the ball. Like, you need to be on the ball. Like, you have to be sharp with everything.
Sure.
Wake up, give yourself a little prep talk. That's what I do. Even when I'm showering, I'm just like, okay, girl, we're gonna do this today. Like, it's another
Yes.
day. We still
Yes.
good, you know. That's the first thing. I play very nice music. Like, I jam in my car. I make sure that that I don't think about COVID-19 as much as I see people wearing masks. But my jam session to work, sorry, but that's my thing.
Sure.
Get to work and just I try to be positive. Like, I try to be positive, and the scary thing is it is managing my fear, but it's also making me more anxious. It's just thinking about it, being like conscious, like being aware of what I'm doing, being, if I'm going to touch something, sanitize. If I'm going to go to class, wear my visor, put on my mask. Every time I touch my mask, my sanitizer is always with me. So every time, like, I feel like I've touched too many things, just quickly sanitize, speaking to friends. I have a lot of friends that are teachers as well. So like just keeping like in contact with them and asking them how they're surviving, you know. Also just, you know, my parents, I it's nice to come home and sometimes just like have a chat about what's happening, you know. And my dad always just says I mustn't stress too much. My mom's also just like, girl, we're gonna fight through it. Like just take every day as it is. Like it's scary, but family, you know, a few supportive friends, because it's hard. It's
It is.
really, really hard. It is really hard. Sometimes I envy people that can work from home because they know what all they're doing is going to buy groceries and coming back and carrying on with work. I need to physically be there where there's so many people around me. I wish that I worked at a school where maybe, you know, it was possible to stay at home and work from home. But unfortunately, you know, I have to go to work. I physically have to be there every single day. It's scary, but managing your fears, it's all in the head. You know, sometimes I have symptoms. I'm just like, how am I today? My throat is so sore, you know? Or like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling like weak. You know, it's just weird. And also, those temperature things that they test you with, sometimes they're not a true reflection. So even when they do check your temperature, you're just like, is this thing even telling me the truth? Like, am I just doing this for protocol? That's about it. It's scary. But just manage your fears. We're in this, bro. There's nothing we can do.
So look,
just always stay strapped with some sanitizer.
So look, I'm a parent, right? And recently, look, they've opened. I don't have a school-going child.
Okay.
So I've been off the hook for some time. Now they're saying, okay, crèches can open. Like, with my baby, right? And as parents, we are worried that, look, man, we are being too cautious at the expense of the development of the child. Or you're also thinking, look, man, this development really is not that important if you're going to weigh health risks and things like that. So I can imagine parents are like, yo, when I take this child to school, the ones who can, who have the option, right? Must I stay with them? Is it a wise decision that we open schools? Is it a bad decision? Is it risky? Some people, like on Twitter, people are saying teachers are dying everywhere. Teachers are quite old. There are many teachers that are a bit old.
Yeah.
And yeah, look, I'm saying it is scary. It is quite hectic. I know other schools, they take them by shifts. Like, I think they have 3 days for some classes, 3 days. How does it work?
I think it depends. It depends on the floor space. It depends on the amount of learners and if you can practice social, like distancing in a class. So if there's a certain amount of classrooms and a certain amount of kids, you can alternate days, or if you can occupy, you know, the whole school with 2 grades. That's what other schools do. If 2 grades can fit and we practice social distancing in every class, then sure, kids can come through. But if there's no floor space to practice social distancing, then they will normally opt for the alternating of days and all of that. Is alternation even a word? Gosh.
You're a teacher. Somebody will say, stop it. And you're in KZN. There's a famous teacher in KZN who says, stop it. But it's fine. Okay, look, let's go to our next insert. It's called the Quick Brain Challenge.
Okay.
It's quite an easy thing. I'm gonna try share my screen. Okay, I've tried sharing the screen. Can you see?
Okay.
Can you see the number there?
That's counting seconds.
Yeah, it's 44 seconds, 0.89, right? Yeah, that's the score, and that's the like high score to beat. This score was done by Totela and Karabo jointly.
Seriously? Totela,
yeah,
guys, what's happening?
But like, look, there were 2 of them, so it was hard. It was hard, and that's the score. So I'm going to ask you an either-or question, right?
Okay.
And because your parents are watching, I must just change some few questions.
Yes, please do.
But your parents must also understand you're an adult, man.
Yo, I'm old now,
Um,
hey?
Yeah, you're old. So there'll be one tricky one. So I'm going to say this or that, and you must pick one
Okay.
as quickly as you can. Right? So we're going to start. Let me refresh the time. So the last score is for let me write it down. And that's the score to beat. So let me
Okay.
refresh. And in 3, 2, 1, go. Dog or cat?
Dog.
iPhone or Android?
iPhone.
Working alone or in a team?
Team.
Chris Hani or Tambo?
Chris Hani.
Love or money?
What? I didn't hear that.
Love or money?
Oh. Love.
Okay. To restart your life or to continue with your life?
Continue.
Black or green?
Black.
AK or Casper?
AKA
Horror or comedy?
comedy.
Missionary or doggy?
Missionary.
Okay, so that's your score. That's your score. That's your score. You are at
Wow.
57. 57.
I wasn't ready, but it wasn't bad. How many questions did I answer?
10.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's not bad. Look, I think you are like on our list, you are like out of all our people we interviewed, you are like number 4. So we've interviewed like eight people, including Yamkel and Banks and all the people you know. So not too bad.
Fine.
Yeah, not too bad. And you didn't cower away from court. You didn't say skip or things like that. So
yeah, no. I'm gonna be honest.
We're proud of you. Okay, so the
Thank
last
you.
question for the day would be,
Yes.
what can be done now to improve the situation? What do you think can be done, whether by the government, by teachers themselves, by parents? What do you think can be done?
Well, it's so weird because there's such a vast difference in terms of, I won't say schooling systems, but I'll say in terms of schools in South Africa, where I will only speak for like where I have experience in. Like I don't have experience in the private schools and that type of environment. So this is just for where I am situated, my field. There must be a very great deal of communication between parents and the schools. Even before COVID-19, there is a lack of communication,
Okay.
And in many cases, parents are batholakali. Like you could even noma nje kuthiwa ingane iyagula or ingane ilimele esikoleni, and you want to phone the parents. Parents are not readily available. And I understand some of them have very, strict jobs and they can't leave, they have to report to somebody. But this is when communication must be always readily. If the school calls, you need to do something because parents are being called. Your child is in isolation because your child is sick and they came to school. Why is your child coming to school when they're sick? Like things like that. Like some parents are not taking this seriously. And that's what sucks, is that some people are taking it very seriously and some people are not taking it seriously at all. And I know it's hard, but I think the one thing that needs to improve lower level, ground level, is the communication between parents and schools, because parents are also very quick to, go against what's happening at schools, blah, blah, blah. But in many cases, they don't even know what's happening because they're not involving themselves. So I plead for parents to take initiative and to be in control of their kids, so that they know exactly what's happening in the schools, Another thing that I would probably say would improve the situation, I don't want to say anything that will, but
sure.
schools must be provided with things that they were promised, you know.
Sure. Sure.
Kids must come to school and things must be there. Kids mustn't be called and things aren't there, because that also puts lives at risk, you know. And with this lack of communication that already is there, when things are not being delivered or things are not being done accordingly, everything just breaks down. There's a lot that needs to improve. Ground level, there's a lot, from parents, from structures, from Yonkindao. It's very easy to speak on behalf of something that you don't understand. It's very easy to do that, but also people of power must go down and see what's happening. They don't know.
Sure.
They don't know, and sometimes because you fear something, it's gonna go bad or somebody might quote me or whatever. But
sure, I understand.
And I'm sure all over South Africa, work needs to be put in, because this thing is not ending at COVID-19, and it's gonna truly kill a lot of people.
Maybe it's exposing us when we're at our weakest. Not as if maybe it didn't find us when schools were already okay. It found us when schools are not okay. And now it's further exposing us.
Yes, it's further shown us we were never prepared for anything. We were never prepared for any disaster like this, because the management of this disaster is a little bit shaky, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yolanda, we've gone past our normal time by 6 minutes, but look, it was an important topic. Thank you so much for availing yourself and sharing some light. From us, we appreciate the work you guys do, right? So people only appreciate doctors and millionaires, but I think teachers are doing a great job to ensure that South Africa is a better place for everyone. And with those words, thank you for coming to our show, and thank you for joining us tonight and making sure that our future is brighter. Thank you so much.
Yay, thank you. Bye.
Goodbye.